Hi everyone, thank you for joining our July national webinar, Turning Action into Results, hosted by Justin Nelson with the Tony Robbins Company. If you did not receive the worksheets for today's webinar, they have also been attached to the GoToWebinar control panel under the handout section. Allison James Estates and Homes is a nationwide brokerage which offers 100% commission and 100% support. Why split your commission if you don't need to? You've earned it all, so shouldn't you keep it all? Our goal at Allison James is to always give back to our agents by providing education, training sessions, live webinars, live events, and full broker support with the most up-to-date tools and technology available. We are always looking for new tools and ways to be able to provide them to our agents at a lower or discounted price, so you can keep your hard-earned money for the important things in life and the people you love. With plans starting at just $35 per month, we have plans that cater to agents of all levels of production. And as Allison James continues to grow, we will be providing more of these free tools to help you grow your business. Allison James Estates and Homes is ranked among RealTrend's top 20 independent brokers in America. We currently have over 1,100 agents and are growing every day. Thank you to all of the outside agents who have joined us today. We feel that training should be free, and we welcome you to join any of our upcoming webinars or live events. Today's webinar is sponsored by our preferred lender, Movement Mortgage. I would like to now introduce Shelley Hoyseth, Senior Loan Officer with our preferred lender, Movement Mortgage. Good morning, Shelley.
Good morning, Victoria. Good morning, Realtors nationwide and Justin. I'm not going to take up too much time because I know he's got a pretty awesome presentation he's getting ready to start here. So I just wanted to introduce Movement Mortgage for those of you who perhaps have not heard of Movement Mortgage. If you are with Allison James Estates and Homes, then you probably hear a lot about us because I am in your face on a regular basis. But Movement Mortgage is a national direct lender. We are actually one of the largest mortgage companies in the nation right now. We are really going gangbusters, doing a lot of record months right now. The market is crazy hot, and rates are really low, so things are going real crazy. One thing that I'm noticing that's happening is a lot of agents are, of course, introducing me and wanting their clients to get started, and the clients are kind of, well, you know, I'll take my time, I'll do this, I'll do that. And then they find a property, they get all excited, they want to, you know, write an offer right that second, and they're just not ready. So I really encourage you to, you know, build that relationship as early as you can if you want to show them a home or whatever you want to do to build that relationship. But then get them with a lender that's going to get them fully ready to go. Our claim to fame is that we do fully underwrite all our files even before they find a house. So when I first meet with someone, I'm going to collect a full loan package right at the beginning. I'll kind of put my underwriting hat on, so to speak, take a look at it, give you my best assessment, and then from there we submit right to underwriting. And as you can see from the slide here, we do have our goals are 6 hours for underwriting, 7-day processing, and 1 day to close. And what that means is that when I submit the file direct to underwriting, they typically review it that same day if it's been submitted that morning or the next day, and we get our initial conditional approval. Loans that have special cases or need additional underwriting might be up to, say, 48 hours. But for the most part, it is same-day underwriting initial conditional approval. After that, it goes to processing, and our processors, they are bonused according to whether they can make the 7-day processing goal. That means they have 7 business days to get the conditions gathered back from the borrower, get them cleared off, including everything, dotting every I, crossing every T, homeowners insurance, everything, and have it ready to go back to the underwriter for final approval. So 1 day to close means you get final approval, and basically we have the loan documents out within 1 day. That process is really awesome, our funding process, because we do not need a signed loan package back after our loan docs go out. We do the funding conditions up front, we send the loan documents, and we trust escrow to sign them and record them. So it's not unusual for us to sign, record, and fund sign, fund, and record all in the same day when necessary. Our timelines are pretty quick. We close in 20 days or less usually, and that's how we do it. So I encourage you to get your clients to not be afraid to gather all the paperwork in the beginning, because it really takes a lot of stress off of them when it's time to move or when they're looking at multiple offers. Make sure they have a loan commitment letter in hand when they're writing their offers, and that's what we can provide. So I'm available in California and Washington State. I am also the preferred lender that handles the account for Allison James Estates and Homes. So if you are outside of Washington or California and you do want to learn more about me or Movement Mortgage, please give me a call or email me, and I can refer you to a loan officer in your area. So that's it for me, and I'm going to pass it off to Victoria again.
Thank you, Shelley. If you would like more information about Allison James Estates and Homes, please contact Alicia Aratari in our National Growth and Development Department at area code 941-677-2544 or by email at joinus@ajicorporate.com. And with that being said, I know you are all excited for today's webinar. I am as well. So I would like to now introduce Peak Performance Specialist, Justin Nelson. Good morning, Justin.
Good morning. All right, I'm going to show my screen right now. Let's see if this works.
Perfect.
All right, can you guys see me?
Yes.
Excellent. Hang on one second here. Perfect. So, good morning. I'm happy to be here. My name is Justin. I'm a corporate trainer and national speaker for Tony Robbins. Basically, I am a coach for Tony Robbins. And I want to ask you this question, and I will be asking you questions throughout, and I understand that you can't answer and interact the way I want us to, but I will pause after some questions and give you a chance to write some things down. Hopefully you all have the Tony Robbins worksheet in front of you. If you don't, it's not a big deal at all. I'll direct you on when to take some notes. But I would ask you to pretend that I'm in the room with you, and please take notes and answer some questions as if you were truly trying to make this presentation impact your life, because that is my purpose in the next 50 minutes. So I want to know, when you think of Tony Robbins, what do you think of? And a lot of people say energy, success, money, strategy, but the number one answer we get is motivational speaker. We are actually not motivational speakers. We don't even use the term. Tony Robbins does not even like the term. We are strategic thinkers. We train people like Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, 4 American presidents, Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, Tiger Woods, the Golden State Warriors. The list goes on and on and on. And trust me, all of these people that I just named, they do not need motivation from us. They are already at the top. So my question to you is, why do we need a coach? Why do people that make more money than Tony Robbins, that are more successful than Tony Robbins, hire Tony Robbins? And a lot of people will say strategy, to maintain, perspective. But the true answer, the only reason people pay us the amount of money they pay us, is to take their lives to the next level. I am not going to pretend to tell you how to do your job today. I do not know how to do your job. But we are all about taking our lives to the next level, whether that's professionally or personally. So we have a very short amount of time today, and I know you're all in your home today, but what we cannot do is waste this time. Let me put it in perspective. How much do you remember from your 8th grade algebra class? How much do you remember from all of your math classes in junior high? Across the country, the answer is usually 0 unless somebody loves math. My point is, we can spend hours, years of our lives doing something, and we retain nothing of it. We have no memory of it. It's because if we sit back passively and do not want to be somewhere, we retain less than 5% of the information going on around us. If you sit up for the next 50 minutes participate, take some notes, contemplate some of the questions that I'm giving you, you'll retain over 90% of the information I have to say today. And by the way, do you see how this last comment can relate to your business? Do you think your clients know when your shoulders are slumped and you do not want to be on that phone call with them? They know the difference between our happy voice and our fake happy voice. Trust me. So this week, just a little hint, this is something that I do every day of my life. When I'm making phone calls, I stand up, I smile, and I look out a window. And trust me, your voice changes, your vibration changes, and the people on the other end of the phone actually interact with you differently. Now, Tony Robbins is the world leader on negotiation, leadership, and peak performance. And he is not massively successful because of how smart he is. He has a high school diploma. He is massively successful because of how curious he is. He works with the best of the best in the world. How did you do it? Why did you do it? What were the steps? And he started to see a formula, whether that's for relationships, health, money, I don't care what it is, the formula is exactly the same. He does not try to figure out things on his own. He cuts out years of learning, years of experience by modeling the best in the world. And I don't have time to get into his childhood. I would encourage you to look into it. It's a great story, but let's just call it not ideal. It was rough. And as a child, he couldn't understand why some people had money, why some people had happiness, why some people had joy, why some people had security, and he had none of it. And he became obsessed with one question. And this is the question that's drove his entire career. And I want to ask you this same question, and I want you to take about 10 seconds and write down 2 to 3 answers. What determines your success? And by the way, when I'm talking about success today, I'm not necessarily talking about money. However you define success, that's what I'm talking about. What determines your success? Now, I've been doing this a long time all across this world, and I've started to see consistent answers. I get things like myself, hard work, priorities, commitment, education, loyalty. Whatever's on your list, you're probably correct, because all these answers are 100% correct. But I want to share with you something much simpler. Success is simple. We overcomplicate it. But what I'm about to share with you determines everything about your life, your love and passion at home, your health status, and how much money you have in your bank account right now. Please write down the word patterns. Patterns. So what is a pattern? It's a habit. It's something that we repeat on a consistent basis. Bottom line, the things that we repeat every day of our lives determine everything about our lives. It is not about talent, God-given ability, being an amazing salesperson. If you want to take your life and your business to the next level in the year 2016, all you have to say are the things that I'm repeating every day of my life, pushing me forward, keeping me where I'm at, or leaving me behind. Example, if you work out every single day of your life, is there a chance you might be in great shape? Absolutely. If you never work out, is there a chance you might not be in great shape? I know it's a very simple question and answer or example, but I encourage you to look at your business this way. The things that you're repeating every day of your life determine your success. And I'm including body language, I'm including thought patterns, and I'm including actions. I'm not talking about just who we are when we're in front of clients or on the phone. I'm talking about who we are throughout the entire day. So please take a look at some of your patterns. Now, there are 3 major pillars to whatever we want to accomplish in our business, whatever we want to accomplish in our lives. Please write this down either on the notes section or on the back. SAM. S-A-M. S stands for strategy. Now, what's a strategy? It's a plan. It is a plan for success. How many of us have a business plan that we look at on a fairly regular basis? I know I can't see you all, but let me put this in perspective. I have done this for 2,000 people before. I ask them this question, and about 100 people will raise their hand, and 50 of them are lying to me. We have dismissed our strategy. It's in the first chapter in every success book. Every success coach on this planet, anybody that has accomplished something amazing, will tell you that you need a plan. And we've dismissed this as white noise. But if we don't know where we're going, we just end up wherever we end up. Now, I have a very complicated business plan, and I rarely look at it. My mind does not work that way. How my mind works is simplicity. Now, what do I need to do now? So every day of my life, I take 30 seconds. What I'm going to accomplish, how I'm going to accomplish it, and why. I do 2 to 3 of these meetings a day. So I make a plan 2 to 3 times a day. I've been doing this for over a year. There are 5 of us that do this all around the world, and I'm the best at it. It would be very easy for me to wing this and just say, you know what, I've done this hundreds of times before. I'm good at what I do. It's just a webinar. But there's something powerful about writing down what I'm going to accomplish, how I'm going to accomplish it, and why. It focuses my energy. It focuses my spirit. It focuses my mind. It does something powerful that I can't even comprehend. And it takes 30 seconds. I would encourage you to do this before phone calls, before listing presentations, before meeting with a new client, before even jumping on a webinar, and just say, you know what, I'm going to be listening the most of the time, but what could I do in the next hour to get the most out of this? And write it down. I promise you, you will be happier and you are going to make more money. Also, very similar to a plan, I would come up with a mission statement about who you are. These are our lives. This is our business. And I would encourage you to understand why you're doing it, because what you do is challenging. I'll share with you one of my mission statements. I have multiple of them. I laminate them. I keep them near my heart. Right before this, I reminded myself to play from my heart and not my head. My head is a very scary place. And I know a lot of you relate to this. Our head is going to tell us we don't have time, we don't have money, this isn't going to work out, and our heart is just going to figure out a way to handle it. That is strategy. It is so important. A in SAM is activities. Activities. I like this word more than action because action is kind of an overused word. Activities is much simpler. Phone calls, emails, problems, challenges, networking, listing presentations, showing houses, phone calls, emails, problems, challenges. Our issue, and trust me, I include myself in this, is we take care of our to-do list. Next thing, next thing. Now I got to see this person. Now I got to make this phone call. Now I got to return these emails. And the day ends, and we're going to repeat the same thing the next day. And this is a cycle. This is a pattern, and we never get ahead. This is why, and trust me, we have obsessively researched this with outside parties. Most people make the same amount of money their entire lives, and it has nothing to do with their hard work or how many hours they're working or if they're making more phone calls. Because we are just taking care of the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. Tony Robbins runs 18 companies and operates in 98 countries. If he was to take care of his to-do list, all 18 of his companies would fail. We cannot create a life and we cannot create a business by taking care of our to-do list. What I encourage you to do is one activity every single day that's going to improve your life, improve your business. By the way, what you're doing right now matters. People that see massive success are willing to do things that other people are not willing to do. And that includes training, that includes coaching, that includes reading. It could be something as simple as working out in the morning, meditation, prayer, practicing gratitude, something that's going to change your energy, change your state. And it can take as little as 5 minutes. But it is you being willing to make that happen and not say, I don't have time. Because we have to commit ourselves to making time to take care of ourselves before we take care of the outside world. Also, take care of your business. Do something every day outside of your comfort zone. Seek out a mentor. Seek out a coach. Read something. Dr. Wayne Dyer, Tony Robbins, Tom Ferry. I don't care. It's all beautiful, but it's you being willing to say, I am going to make time to improve my business today. If we do not improve ourselves and our business every single day of our lives, who are we in a year? We are in the same place, and sometimes worse, and we feel burnt out. But what truly excites us, what sets us on fire, is improving our lives and improving our business every single day of our lives, and miracles can happen. Because if you improve yourself and your business every day, you have no idea of what you can become. It is not about a lucky break. It's not about a connection. It's not about learning more about your business. It's about you improving yourself every day. And whatever you want to accomplish, all you need is a strategy and back that up with some activities. Every millionaire has a book out there. There are so many real estate books out there, and a lot of them are amazing. And by the way, your company has a proven success plan. It is not some esoteric idea that, you know, maybe if I do this or maybe if I follow it, I'll be successful. Your company has thousands of examples of people that are massively successful by following the plan. So why, if we have access to all of this information, and by the way, I know I can't get the answer to this question, but I want to ask it anyways. Does everybody that I'm speaking to right now already know some things if they did more of on a consistent basis, they would be more successful? The answer to that question is 100% yes, because I know. I am speaking from personal experience. And if you don't know, are there resources out there, a lot of them free, that you could figure it out pretty quickly? The reason I bring this up is we all know how to be more successful, but there's a reason sometimes we don't go to that next level. And it is the M in Sam. It is your mindset. Your mindset is the unfair competitive advantage in any market, system, economy, business that you choose. Our mind is the most powerful computer in the world. It's in charge of our existence. It's in charge of our personality, how we dress. And make no mistake, it is 100% responsible for how much money you make. There is nothing else that goes into that. It is not about knowledge, skill. It is about your mindset and how much you decide you are worth. The most powerful computer in the world. And how much time, how much energy, and how much money do we spend training this? The scary answer is it's usually zero. We learn the mechanics. We learn about the economy, the market, sales, contracts, real estate. We learn the mechanics of our business. In school, we teach our kids math, English, gym. It has nothing to do with our confidence, nothing to do with our emotional state, and it has nothing to do with our wealth. 20% of our success is the mechanics, 80% of it is psychological, and we spend 100% of our time on the mechanics. This is scary. I would encourage you to seek out ways to train your mind every single day, because your mind is a muscle. If you work out one time, are you going to be in shape for the rest of your life? I know it's kind of a silly question, but please understand that your mind is a muscle, and if you do not train it every single day, you are going to lose it. I would encourage you to look up, just to get started, successful morning rituals. There's about a 45-minute on YouTube that shows like Tony Robbins, Warren Buffett, Oprah Winfrey. And trust me, nobody that has experienced massive success just rolls out of bed. They do something powerful in the morning, so they decide who they are going to be that day, and they do not let the outside world decide who they are going to be. Strategy, activities, and mindset. Now, I want to ask you a question, and this is a powerful question. I ask myself this question 3 to 4 times a day. I call it checking my levels. I want to know, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, everything that you have to give, your full potential, your best self, firing on all cylinders, making the money you deserve to be making. Let me put it in a different way. Have we had an amazing day, week, or month in real estate or whatever career you're in right now, to where things just worked out? We got a closing. We made some money. We had a referral. Somebody sincerely thanked us. And it kept going. How do we feel on days like that? We feel amazing. And how do we treat our family and friends when we go home at night? We treat them the way they deserve to be treated. And how do we feel about work when we have a day or a week like that? We feel amazing, and it pushes us forward. It motivates us. The reason that feels so good is because that's who you are. But we set up so many rules in our life that if this, and this happens, I'm going to be stressed. But if this, and this happens, I'm going to allow myself to be happy. This is a scary way of living because we are letting the outside world dictate our emotional state. The reason I bring that example up is because we've all had those days where we just felt like we were on fire, like we loved what we did, and that is a 10. And I want you to go a notch, a notch, a notch, and wherever on average you feel like you're showing up to work right now, write that number down, please. And I'll give you about 5 seconds. Now, most people 5, 6, 7. So for our purposes today, because I can't see all of you and I can't ask, I'm going to go with an average of a 6. What does this number tell us? It tells us that a lot of people will say it's average, we got a long way to go, but the only answer we're looking for is that there's room for improvement. There is no shame in this number. But we have to understand that we are capable of being more, giving more, and doing more. But we are a society of phone calls, emails, traffic, family, stress, problems, and then we pick up a phone or we walk into a room and we hope that things are going to work out. I would encourage you, before you walk into a room, before you speak with a client, before you speak with a coworker, ask yourself in your head just very quickly, can I give more? Can I be more? Can I love more? I know this is a bad situation, but what is the best way of dealing with it? How can I treat this person the way they deserve to be treated? If you ask yourself these questions, instantly your shoulders will change, your eye contact will change, your voice will change, and you will interact with people differently, and people will feel it. Check your levels this week and say, am I showing up at a 5 or 6? Or for the next hour, can I just give everything that I have? Leave those problems behind and be in the zone. Be in focus, doing what I'm supposed to be doing right now. So in a lot of ways, this is a beautiful number. But in a lot of ways, maybe not so much. Because if we're showing up at a 6, what does that tell us about our finances? It tells us that we could be leaving 40% of our income on the table every single day of our lives. And I know what you do for a living. And by the way, this question is not true for everybody on this planet. It's true for select few. And I know it's true for you. And the question is, are you capable of getting a 40% raise in the next business quarter? You have chosen a very challenging career, but that answer to that question is yes. That could be 2 to 3 closings away. And let me ask you a question. Without any coaching, without any training, without reading any more books, and you committed yourself to showing up at a higher level, could you make more money? The answer to that question is 100% yes. And guess what? You can start right now. You can start today. Commit yourself to giving more, being more, loving more. And I'm going to give you a couple ways to do that today. But please understand, you already know how. You already know how to be that best version of yourself. Check your levels this week. Now, whether you wrote down a 1 or a 10, is everybody capable of showing up at a higher level? The answer to that question is obviously yes. So why aren't we? There's a section on your paper that says what's holding you back. And I want you to take 30 seconds and I want you to write down anything that is holding you back from being exactly where you want to be in your business. A good way of looking at this is there's always a gap from where we are and where we want to be. Meaning that could be time, that could be money, that could be delegating more. What has stopped you from being exactly where you want to be in your business? And please write that down, 30 seconds. And if there's something holding you back in your personal life, whether that's health, relationships, feel free to write those down too. And I'll give you about 25 more seconds. Perfect. I wish I could hear all your answers, but I have been doing this long enough to know that the list that you are about to give me is the same list across the entire country. Let me put this even more in perspective. I have done this for top CEOs in the world, and their list is exactly the same as when I speak to detention centers. These are children in prison, and their list is exactly the same as that CEO's. It is because it is a program. It is acceptable in society to say, you know what, I don't have time. I would, but I don't have money. You know, I just don't have a plan. It's my priorities. You know, I don't know if I'm fully committed. I don't know if it's going to work out. Number 3 answer across the country is money. If I had more money, I could invest more. I could train more. I'd have less stress. I wouldn't have as much debt. Thinking that way does not get rid of those issues. What does get rid of those issues is how much does it cost us to show up at a higher level. It costs 0. And the beautiful thing about this, it's not overwhelming because you can start without money. And trust me, that is what turns poverty into wealth. Massive success. Number 2 answer across the country is time. I don't have enough time. But we can't say time. We have to say time management. Because we all have 24 hours in a day. So if somebody out there is experiencing massive success, love and passion at home, still has time to take care of their kids and eat right, can we also? If somebody else out there is doing it, we can too. And I guarantee there are hundreds of examples of people that are doing it right now in your company. This is what Tony Robbins is a master at. If somebody's doing it better, he doesn't try to come up with something different. He just copies that. And there are so many beautiful mentors and coaches out there, and you don't even need to meet them personally. Their information is everywhere. And just by having information, you can consider that person your mentor. It's a beautiful way. Model what other people are doing. And please understand, if somebody else out there is doing it, you can too. The first step to time management is just understand how valuable your time is. And who wastes most of our time? The answer to that question is us. What we put into our bodies, what we're listening to, our thought patterns, our body language, it's who we are when no one is looking. And if we're consistently thinking, I don't have time, that is exactly what we're going to manifest. Please change your language to I don't have time to I am not committed to that. Trust me, I deal with this on a daily basis and I coach people on it. I have to commit to a few things in my life, and the rest, sometimes I have to let go to the side. But I get very clear on what I'm committed to, whether that's health, money, family, you choose. But it shouldn't be more than 3 to 4. Because if it's more than that, you are going to feel overwhelmed and stressed. The number one answer across the country, and the answer I'm about to give you, deals with everything that you just wrote down. It is fear. We are afraid of failure. We're afraid of the unknown. We're afraid of success. We're afraid of rejection. The only reason I do this job is that I have a huge fear of rejection. It hurt me in every part of my life, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. I was successful, but I was successful to show people that I wasn't afraid. And I was the most insecure person that I've ever known. But when we deal with our fears and bring them to the surface, sometimes they're our greatest power. And we all know that we're afraid of failure because we might look stupid, we might lose money, it might not work out. We might invest all this time and it might not work out. But what we strongly believe in is we are more afraid of success than we are of failure. The only reason I say this is every single person knows some things that if they did more of, they would make more money. And if they don't, they know they can. There are ways to invest your time, to invest your money, to improve your business. And sometimes we don't. I'm going to oversimplify something right now, but it's something that everybody in the United States has dealt with on some level. In the United States, the health industry is an $80 billion a year industry. And everybody in the United States already knows how to be a healthier version of themselves. I'm not saying it's easy, and I'm not saying it's not different for everyone, but we all know how to be healthier, and we don't do it. There's something inside of us holding us back. These are emotional blocks and internal conflicts. And this is what Tony Robbins is a master at. From clearing this out, then we can follow the plan. Then we can be massively successful. And let me give you an example. If we ever say, I want to be in this health status, I want to make this amount of money, I want to accomplish this goal, but then thoughts start creeping in. I'll do that later. Let me just take care of this first. Let me get through this month, or let me get this next check, then I'll start making that happen. Or we say all these goals, and then a few days creep by, and we're not taking any action to make that happen. Or we're not doing it in the right way. Full effort, full commitment. We say we want things in life, but we're not backing it up with our thoughts, our emotions, our energy. We are not congruent in our message. And this is an emotional block and internal conflict when we say we want something, but we're not willing to commit our entire being. Now, what is a good name for all of that stuff you just wrote down? The time, the fear, commitment, priorities, family, education, all those things that we feel like is holding us back. What is a good name for all of that stuff? At Robbins Research, we have a very scientific name. Please write this down. We call it BS. I don't know why some of you are smiling. I'm just assuming you are. But that stands for belief system. Belief system. The definition of a belief is a feeling of absolute certainty that you and I have about something. A feeling of absolute certainty that you and I have about something. Let me give you an example. I was in a room of about 150 people the other night. It was an amazing, beautiful meeting for me. A lady came up to me after and said, Justin, something you said to me resonated so deeply that I'm absolutely changing my life today. She has tears in her eyes and she's hugging me. In that same exact meeting, in that same room, there was a guy rolling his eyes at me the entire time. That they'd have two different beliefs about what was going on in that room. And did I ever change? We get to believe whatever we want to believe about every room that we're in, every company that we work for, every market that we're in, every economy that we're in. It is our belief system. Let's talk about the economy. In 2008, when the economy crashed, were there people not making any money at all? Were there people making an outrageous amount of money? Yes, on both accounts. In 2016, are there people not making any money at all? In every market. And are there people that are making massive amounts of money? Yes. Same market, same economy, but some people say, you know what, it's just not the right time. You know, it's not busy season. You know, it's a seller's market, it's a buyer's market. Interest rates, people aren't qualifying for loans. This all might be 100% true. But if we start saying that's why, that is a very slippery slope because somebody is making the money right now. So please catch yourself this week. And if you start pointing to outside sources of why things aren't working out, we can do nothing about that. All we can do is something about this, what we believe. There are people that work for your company and my company that think, you know what, this is an amazing company. This is my ticket for freedom, for life, for financial freedom, to have the life that I want to have. And there are some people that work for your company and mine that say, you know what, I don't know, the systems aren't really in place. I don't know if we're getting the right backup. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm supported. Who is going to be more successful? It is always the person that has the powerful belief. And our companies never changed. If our beliefs are not serving us, change them. Change them. And there are two kinds of beliefs in this world that dictate everything about our lives. The first one is limiting belief. Please write that down. Limiting belief. A limiting belief is anything that says, I'll do it later. I'll do it tomorrow. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I would, but. I don't have the resources. Trust me, it is never about a lack of resources. It is a lack of resourcefulness. Let me give you an example of a limiting belief, because our mind has a funny way of disguising them. Have we ever done this? Tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym before anybody gets up and feel amazing. And then for some reason, we push snooze. Then we go to work and we say, you know what, I didn't go to the gym this morning, but I don't care what time it is when I get off work, I'm going tonight. But then we get phone calls, kids, traffic, and we say, you know what, I'll go tomorrow morning. This is the same with our business, with follow-up, with referrals, with education, with training, with investment. We say, you know, I would, but anything that pushes off till tomorrow is a limiting belief because we can only do it now, and it takes a commitment on our part. And I'm sorry to lay this on thick, but I want to make a connection in your brain. Next to limiting belief, please write dream killer. Because if we cannot step up and take action, we will not realize our dreams. The beautiful one. And if you take anything from me today, please take this. This is what Tony Robbins has based his 40-year career on. And trust me, he has dedicated his entire being to studying everything about success, everything about human potential. He is the world expert. And it comes down to this. If we cannot grasp this concept, nothing else matters. And it is this, and please write this down in big letters, empowering belief. Empowering belief. An empowering belief is anything that moves us forward, anything that pulls us forward. Example of an empowering belief. I was in LA about, 6-7 months ago. A company hired me to train their sales team. It was a team of 250 people, account executives all across this country, meaning they all had the ability to make the same amount of money. And I took a chance on this lady. She had amazing posture, wonderful eye contact. She was a presence. She was a force in the room. And I said, Miss, will you please stand up and tell me what your belief is about what you do here? And she stood up and said, I believe God put me on this planet to do what I'm doing. I honestly can't think of a more powerful belief. And I've heard people say this before, but I think the reason it hit me so hard is because she didn't say it in a way like she was trying to prove it to me. She said it in a way like she just believed it. And she ended up being the #1 salesperson in the entire company as she doubled the production of the person behind her. In a room of 250 people, she doubled the production of the person behind her. And it wasn't because she worked weekends. It wasn't because she didn't have kids at home. It wasn't because she had a master's degree. It was because she had an empowering belief about what she was and what she was doing for a living. And people can feel this. It vibrates through you. You see opportunity that other people do not see. You are actually pulled towards your goals when you have empowering beliefs about your goals. Tony Robbins, if you decide to go to one of his events, spends 17 hours on your belief system, straight, because it is so important to understand that this is our life. And if our beliefs are not serving us about health, about money, about education, then we need to change them, and we need to change them now. To start on this journey, ask yourself powerful questions. We are really good at asking stupid questions, like, oh, why doesn't this ever work out? Or why can't I do this? Why don't I ever have time? And then your brain says, thank you for that stupid question. Let me give you 1,000 stupid answers. Because of this, because, things just aren't working out. Well, it was that person. And then our brain gets really creative. It goes back into our childhood and says, you know what? Well, you never really got out over that. Well, you've always been doing this. Well, you're just that way. But when we ask empowering questions, like, if I was to be massively successful at doing it in a loving, joyful way, create my business, create my life, how would I feel? Who would I see in the mirror? What kind of example would I be for my friends and family? What could I give back? These are powerful questions. And your brain will say, thank you for that powerful question. Let me give you 1,000 powerful answers. Let me give you the emotions and feelings to make that happen. But we have to ask the correct questions. I would encourage you to make a list of a few questions that are massively powerful, not just about making more money, but about creating what you want, creating the life that you want. And your brain will give you the emotions, give you the energy and the answers if you direct it in the right way. Perfect. Empowering beliefs. Now, I want to show you the success cycle. This is going to determine how much money you're going to make this year, next year, and every year for the rest of your life. We do not teach Serena Williams how to play tennis. We teach her this. We started training her a year and a half ago, and she's won 4 out of the 5 past majors at 34 years old, which is crazy. Please understand that what I'm about to share with you controls every part of your life, challenging or amazing. And I'm very quickly going to go over the challenging side, and then I'm going to show you the beautiful side. Now, if you have the worksheet in front of you, please refer to those 4 boxes. If you do not have a worksheet in front of you, please draw 4 boxes in a square. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Top left box, I want you to write belief. Belief. Top right box, I want you to write potential. Potential. Bottom right box, please write action. Action. Bottom left box, please write result. Result. Now, when we have a limiting belief, I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't have energy, I'll do it later, I don't know enough, I don't care what the belief is. If it's anything that's stopping you from doing it right now, it is a limiting belief. When we have a limiting belief, we tap into a little bit of potential. We tap into a little bit of potential. We take little or no action. If we take little or no action, what kind of result do we get? And this is the scary part, because that result just doesn't sit there. That result comes back up to our belief system and says, see, I told you so. Yep, it's just the way it is. And this actually can be shared through a business, through an economy, where, yeah, it's just what it is right now. It's just not the busy season. Yeah, deals just aren't coming through. And it keeps feeding itself. If we buy into this, this is a scary way of living, and this is a scary way of doing business, because it feeds itself and it goes down. Because nothing in life stays the same. Trust me. Try to find one example of anything in this world where if something is not growing, it is definitely dying. This is where I struggled in my business. Whenever I stopped making money, it's because I thought I figured it out. Oh my gosh, I'm good at what I do. Money's coming in. I started looking into my future, and all of a sudden the money shuts off. Because whatever made me successful in the past is not good enough now. It is about us being willing to train ourselves, willing to grow. It's not about just getting good at something and then repeating it. It is the act of improving our business and ourselves that makes and generates money. Now, the beautiful thing about this, when we have empowering beliefs, like God put me on this planet to do what I'm doing, I'm committed today to spending a few minutes and writing down a mission statement about who I am. You know what? I'm going to come up with a very simple plan for the next month, the next week, but I'm going to figure out what I want to accomplish. When we have empowering beliefs, we tap into massive amounts of potential. We tap into massive amounts of potential. We take massive action. If we take massive action, we get a massive result. And guess what? That result comes back up to our belief system, and it cycles around and around, and it feeds itself. If you can master this state, you can master your business, and it all starts with an empowering belief. I have a few minutes here, so very quickly I'm going to go over this. In the results section, I want you to write down how much money you want to make in the next 5.5 months. You have 5.5 months till the end of this year, and very quickly, I want you to write down how much money you want to make. Excellent. We are very good at writing down goals. What we are not good at is attaching emotion to those goals. So ask yourself powerful questions about that goal. How would I feel if I was able to accomplish this? What could I pay off? What could I invest in? Who would I see in the mirror? Have fun with it. What would I dress like? What could I buy? Ask yourself powerful questions about that goal. Then, you say, if I was to make this goal happen, what are a few actions that I need to take every single day of my life to make this happen? This should be 1 to 3 actions. Very simple. They can take 5 minutes. They can take an hour. Whatever you're committed to. So later today, write down some very simple actions that you are committed to and not just taking care of your to-do list. Then you say, if I was to take all of this action, can I continue to tap into the same amount of potential? Can I keep showing up to work at a level 6, or do I need to give more? And then I would encourage you to seek out ways to master your potential, master your energy. Whether it's through Tony Robbins or not, there are beautiful ways out there to tap into more of who we are. And then you say, if I was to tap into all of this potential, what do I need to believe about that amount of money? And you can do this same plan with health, with relationships, with money. It's very simple. It takes a few minutes, and it constantly feeds itself. It is a beautiful way of doing business. Now, I know this is a webinar, and trust me, I have toned it down a lot because I didn't want to feel like I was screaming at you. But we are very energetic. And my question to you is, do you think I wake up this way, or do you think I have to do something to be this way? The only reason I bring this up is because one thing that we all need to understand is that we are not given love, we are not given energy, we are not given money, we are not given success. The only thing that we have in this world is what we train ourselves to have every day. So I'm going to leave you with this. Come up with a powerful morning ritual to feel the way you want to feel. It could be meditation, it could be working out, it could be going for a run. I don't care what it is. Practicing gratitude, breathing exercises. Find something. You can start with 5 minutes. but be committed to taking care of yourself before you take care of the outside world, and you will see opportunity that other people do not see. And I would encourage you even to take 30 minutes, once you build it up. Take an hour. It is so powerful. It is ridiculous. You will get things done faster. You will be the energy and the person that you are capable of being if you start your day in the right way. Now, the only reason I do this across the country, I've been doing it for just over a year, and I'm going to do it for one more year, is because of an experience that I've had with Tony Robbins. And I 100% encourage you to take this journey. So please write this down. San Jose, California. San Jose, California. This is November 10th through the 13th. November 10th through the 13th. We do 3 of these experience events a year. It is called Unleash the Power Within. Unleash the Power Within. We like this name because in the first 5 minutes, Tony Robbins is going to tell you, I am not going to fix you and I am not going to change you. You do not need to change and you do not need to be fixed. But we need to understand how powerful we are. We need to unlock our potential. And that is what Tony Robbins is a master at. This is a 4-day event. It is a 50-hour training. It is immersion training. Tony Robbins calls it decades into days. He has spent 40 years of his life dedicated to this, 100% his entire life. And he tries to give you the best of what he's learned in 4 days. This cuts out years, this cuts out time, and it's a beautiful investment in who you are. And immersion training works better than anything. 50 hours strung out over a year, so let's say 1 hour a week for 50 hours of training over a year is not impactful. What is impactful is 50 hours away from your life, away from your business, and actually ingraining it in your psychology and your nervous system so you can actually turn it on, switch it on. Day 1 is called Fear into Power. You find out what some of the things you are afraid of are, and you turn that into power. You will also get emotional state training. You decide how you're going to feel, and you do not let the outside world decide how you're going to feel. You will also get peak state training to be intense and focused and energetic in 1 second by what you think about, by what you focus on, and how you move your body. At the end of this night, you are also going to walk over fire. If you want to see more about that, go look at Oprah Winfrey Walking Over Fire on YouTube. It's hilarious, it's funny, but we do something at the end of every night that is impactful, that is fun, that is scary, because we attach everything that we learn to our nervous system so that we remember it for the rest of our lives. Beautiful, beautiful day. Day 2 is the psychology of success and the power of influence. If you could master influence, you can have whatever you want on this planet. And it's not about tricking people. It's not about manipulating people. It's not about selling people. It's about influencing yourself. Also, you're going to learn on this day about growth and contribution. These are our 2 highest human needs. If you can create a business and a life surrounded with growth and contribution, your business is going to be amazing. Day 3 is Transformation Day. This is where you find out what your 3 most limiting beliefs are, and you change them to empowering beliefs. And trust me, there is a process. It is the most intense day, emotional day, fun day, the longest day. This is our lives, and trust me, we get to believe whatever we want to believe. And Tony Robbins has mastered a way to emotionally get that involved and ingrain in you whatever you want to believe about your business, your life, your health. That is the heart and soul of it. Sunday is a bonus health day because we believe you can't have true success without true health. This is the 13 master principles of energy and vitality. It is not a diet. It is not a fad. It is actually how you're supposed to live on this planet. Tony Robbins has studied energy like he has studied success, and he gets his information from the very, very best people in this world. That is the event, November 10th through the 13th. I am over time right now, so I'm just going to give you the pricing. We have worked out a deal with your company right now until August 8th, tickets are half price. Tickets range from $1,100 to $1,700. But because we're limited on time, I'm just going to offer you the best price. VIP is $847.50. $847.50. General admission is $547.50. $547.50. Now, there is a difference up front. It is definitely worth the value. Tony Robbins is hugging people, kissing people, sweating on people, and everybody that goes multiple times sits up front. So the closer you can get, the better. But what we're going to do for your company today is this. Because I have 4 meetings with you guys over the next week, so I'm going to give you a group rate because I'm confident that I'm going to get enough to make this happen. So for VIP today, it's only going to be $697.50. $697.50, and that is the front section. Now, anybody that wants to pay for general admission, I'm going to upgrade you to executive, which is the middle rows. So for the executive seating, it's going to be $547.50. So nobody will sit general admission. 2 options, $700 or $550, executive, VIP, and trust me, that's no one online anywhere in his company can beat that price. It's a beautiful price, and that lasts till August 8th. And I'm going to make sure that Victoria gets all my contact information out to you so you guys can talk to me about enrollment or whatever you want or questions that you have. And I don't know if we have time, Victoria. If you want to open it up to questions, we can.
Thank you so much, Justin. It doesn't look like we have any questions. I just want to thank you so much for doing the webinar for us today. They are always amazing. Thank you again for the discounted pricing on the upcoming event. That is amazing as well. Still doesn't look like we have any questions, but just a lot of, you're the best. Thank you so much. It was fantastic. So just some great comments coming in. So thank you again so much. I also want to thank Shelley Hoysteth, again, Senior Loan Officer with Movement Mortgage, for being on the call with us today. And thank you everyone for joining. As I had said before, we love having these live webinars. We have them every single month. And we do have some upcoming events with Justin in California. If anyone is interested in those, they are free events. And we have all of the information on ajiuniversity.com. So thank you everyone so much. Thank you, Justin, and have a great day.